Welcome back to Remembering the Razzies, everyone.
Hello.
We had a double feature this week.
We sure did.
Oh,
yeah.
What movies did we watch, Jacob?
We watched Howard the Duck and Under the Cherry Moon.
I don't see why there was a tie.
I don't. There was one movie that was very much worse.
And then one movie that had Prince.
Yeah.
What do you want to... We watched Under the Cherry Moon first. Do you want to talk about that one first?
I'll talk about it. So Under the Cherry Moon is a story about a guy and his partner.
Yeah.
Who have this thing where they con rich women into giving them money, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't very clear.
No, Prince meets this one special rich lady and seduces her and they fall in love.
That's basically it.
That's the overall arc.
That's it.
Tell us about Howard the Duck. What's that about?
Oh, Howard the Duck. Neither of us have seen Howard the Duck, but we've heard of it.
Yeah.
And now we know. Howard the Duck is about a duck man from Planet Duck, where there are things such as Duck Raiders of the Lost Ark, Play Duck magazine, there's Duck Tits, he gets beamed to Earth, and he lives on Earth for a few days, and then it's so hard to explain.
Yeah, it goes all over.
Intergalactic demon takes over the body of the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It goes from a wacky, what if a duck man came to Earth?
Yeah.
And it turns into let's defeat a god.
It really is like that.
The first 20 minutes were like...
Yeah, the first 20 minutes are gold.
That's where it
Howard
peaked.
the Duck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it becomes this intergalactic plot, like a Men in Black type thing.
And that's where it lost.
And
us.
it's not nearly as fun.
I would have much rather just seen, like I said, a movie about Howard just goofing around on Earth.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. It was fun. George Lucas said give it 20 years after this movie was made and it would be a masterpiece. It's not. I guess our expectations are kind of high because it is a cult classic. People consider it a cult classic. I don't get how people enjoy it as much as they say they do. It's one of those movies where like, yeah, we liked the first half and the first half was fine and then it becomes something else in the second half and the second half just wasn't fun.
Because it's a comedy that fails, so versus like a drama that's just funny because it's bad. If your jokes don't land, your movie sucks because you're a comedy. And it's not like, it doesn't have the campiness that makes it like, oh, that's charming.
Right.
It's funny, bad movie.
Well, okay. So we've kind of talked about how Howard the Duck is shit. Let's talk about Under the Cherry Moon.
Yeah.
Surprisingly really good cinematography.
Oh my gosh, the cinematography was great.
Like, you can take so many shots in this movie, and it's like, this visually works super well. There's some weird and wonky stuff, but it happens so frequently that it's not just weird and wonky. It, like, you can tell that is a style they were going for, and it works so well. On the other hand, the audio is the worst part.
The only things I can really criticize about Under the Cherry Moon is the audio and the screenplay. I don't even think the performances were that bad. Prince does some wacky stuff, as Prince will do.
Right.
But I feel like it was all intentional.
Yeah.
I feel like he was just having fun. I feel like his character is not one to take seriously.
I can see how people interpret it that way.
Yeah, yep.
I think because Under the Cherry Moon took itself so seriously and Howard the Duck didn't, you could be more critical about Under the Cherry Moon, and like, it was not a very serious film. It wasn't like, it wasn't hyper dramatic like they wanted it to be, but I don't think that they wanted it to be like that. And so Howard the Duck, you'd be like, yeah, it has shitty acting, but like, it's meant to be a shitty B movie.
It's nowhere near Howard the Duck bad.
No, Howard the Duck is infinitely worse in every way.
If you look at other movies that came out this year, Top Gun, Platoon, Karate Kid 2, Aliens. If you like compare it, Ferris Bueller also came out this year. Oh,
okay.
My powers are growing.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't see how this is worst picture worthy. This just seemed like a movie that wasn't doing anything special.
Yeah.
It was just something that happened.
Under the Cherry Moon seems like it was an indie movie, and I don't know how it got the same. I don't even think it's on the same level as Howard the Duck in terms of like. I can't imagine many people saw Under the Cherry Moon.
Yeah, like I'd never heard of it.
Howard the Duck was probably marketed as a blockbuster, and Under the Cherry Moon could not have been.
Howard the Duck definitely has the feel of an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Like, it has the feel of like Ghostbusters or Back to the Future or something
Men
like that.
in Black. Like,
Men in Black, yep.
I think it gets very Men in Black towards the end of the movie, and it's just...
Like, visually, I felt like I was watching maybe a John Hughes or a Spielberg film from the time period.
And I think, like, in that regard, like, the style of this movie is very 80s. Like, everyone has an 80s hair and, like, the campy 80s acting, and...
It's definitely a product of its time.
Right.
Whereas Under the Cherry Moon, it felt like, I don't know, it just looked very nice.
Yeah, no. And I'm really glad that we started with it, because I think if we went from Howard the Duck to that, I would have just been exhausted, and I wouldn't have been able to, like, appreciate it. I think Howard the Duck made me very cynical.
Yeah. Let's talk about what these movies won. Howard the Duck won Worst Visual Effects, Worst New Star, Worst Screenplay, and then Worst Picture.
I would agree. The only visual effect I kind of liked was when... in the semi-truck, when the thing is trying to get more energy just in the semi-truck, and it, like, has this tendril come out of its mouth.
You like the tongue thing?
That, I felt, was very, like, The Thing John Carpenter.
Yeah.
But then once it, like, grew to its full size, it looked like shit.
It was gross.
But just that, like, small isolated effect was the only effect I liked.
Return of the Jedi came out in 83.
Okay.
So that was just 3 years before this. And then the lightning things that he does look so bad.
Yeah.
If you compare it to, like, Palpatine and Return of the Jedi.
Right. Any of the light effects, I noticed when Howard the Duck shot the monster and it, like, peeled backwards, like, it very much looked animated in a bad way. Like, it was so low quality compared to even the effects earlier in the film that looked like crap. Like, it looked so low quality that I was like, this looks like it was almost hand-drawn.
Yeah, and then Howard himself as, like, because I consider Howard a special effect.
Yeah, no, he's a special effect.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, he's gross.
Oh, Howard, you really are the worst.
His eyes... like, they have, like, a skin around them.
Yeah.
And anytime that it's, like, far away, like, the skin kind of blends into his face, and it's really gross.
His hands, he's got, like...
Got, like, human palms.
Yeah, he's
and
got weird fingernails.
Fingernails.
I described it to Jacob as if you had, like, a white stuffed animal as a child that just got really dirty. That's what Howard looks like.
Yeah, it's gross.
Worst New Star is the 6 guys and gals in the duck suit. There it is.
Yeah.
Because the Razzies don't take things seriously. Like, the Oscars, like, when Empire came out, George Lucas wanted Yoda, Frank Oz, to be nominated for supporting actor.
Sure.
And the Oscars are like, what the fuck? That's a puppet. No
Yeah.
way. The Razzies could have totally nominated Howard for Worst Lead Actor.
Yes.
Because Prince was not
No, Prince was playing
bad
Prince.
as Howard. Yeah. Worst Screenplay?
For Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
I would say that Under the Cherry Moon probably had a worse screenplay.
I would agree.
It was much harder to follow where the story was, what it was kind of doing. At least this, like...
Which is weird, because Under the Cherry Moon was such a basic story that it's still hard for us to... Because if you look at the Wikipedia, you've got Howard the Duck, and Howard the Duck's got a normal-sized plot.
Sure.
I just looked at Under the Cherry Moon's Wikipedia, and the plot is a paragraph.
Yeah. I would partially blame that on the fact that the audio is so bad in Under the Cherry Moon that, like, there's a lot of scenes where they're probably revealing a lot of exposition, and you just can't hear it.
Because the Prince music is too loud.
Yeah. Prince was very proud of his music in this.
We can talk about Worst Picture when we compare these later.
Okay.
So let's talk about what Under the Cherry Moon won.
Okay.
Let's start with Worst Song. First off, how did Howard the Duck, the song, not win Worst Song?
That is baffling. Again, the sound design in Under the Cherry Moon was bad, but I don't think any of the music itself was bad.
No.
It wasn't like...
It's Prince.
Yeah, it's Prince. It's not going to be awful. Like,
yeah. I just want to hear what the song is because
Yeah,
I don't remember catching it.
Right. It kind of sounds like that lip monster in Jabba's palace.
Yeah. You know, maybe I take back what I just said.
I wouldn't want to listen to either of them just as a song. I guess this one's pretty bad.
Why is he doing that?
It's good.
Wow. And then Jerome Benton, who played Tricky.
Tim Robbins.
Oh, the scientist guy.
I was a lot more annoyed at the scientist.
I was too.
The scientist character in Howard the Duck is obnoxious.
There was that plot where Tricky was also kind of in love with Prince's girl.
Yeah.
And I
could see it.
I could
see the chemistry.
Yeah, I didn't feel a single thing for the scientist guy. You said when they were getting electrocuted at the end,
I
him
really
and
wanted
Leah
him to die.
Thompson, you're like, they should just both fucking die.
Yeah, the scientist in Howard the Duck is like the most obnoxious scientist character I think I've ever seen in film.
Yeah.
Tricky, I compared him to Chris Tucker because he kind of does play a Chris Tucker-esque role in the film, but the guy playing him is fairly charismatic.
He's very
to the point where
charismatic,
it's like, I don't mind it so much. Like, Chris Tucker I think is annoying as an actor, but like this guy had like enough suaveness to him to where it was like, okay, I can deal with it. Like, it's not a bad character. I can see what he's doing. He did not deserve it.
Should have been the scientist.
Yeah.
No. Then Prince for lead actor. I kind of talked about what I felt about Prince's acting. Obviously, because he directed it, it was intentional. I think it was a character that shouldn't have been taken as seriously.
Yeah.
If anybody should have got this, it should have been the duck.
You see what I mean? I'm a freak, an outcast.
Prince was playing a character that you would expect Prince to play. Like, if you know anything about Prince, like, he was playing a very weird sexual character. And, like, that's not a bad thing. Prince as an actor, I don't think he could play any role besides that. Like, he wasn't really acting very much, I don't think. Again, I get it. Like, it wasn't Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't.
It wasn't, like, Bolero bad.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And then worst director, I would have given it to the director of Howard the Duck. Under the Cherry Moon is a much more competently made film. That's really...
That's everything about it, yes.
All right, and then The Battle, the worst picture.
I think we've made it fairly
We've
obvious.
made it very clear. It's Howard the Duck.
Yeah, Howard the Duck is definitely the worst one in this.
If you have a movie where your female wants to have sexual intercourse with a duck human, get that out of here.
I was afraid that there was going to be a sexual subplot in Howard the Duck, and I was so mad that I was right.
This movie is way too hypersexualized.
It really is. Everyone wants to fuck this duck, and at the same time, the characters in the universe know that it's wrong.
He's my boyfriend!
That's disgusting.
It's bestiality. This movie's trying to be like, bestiality, that's silly.
That's kind of funny. He has a condom in his wallet.
He does have a condom in it. The one thing that I knew about this movie was the duck tits. And that's enough. Howard is a creep, he's an asshole, he's a dick.
Which I guess is the character, but it's really upsetting to watch. If he were a human, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, he's a duck, and I get that like the point is like it's an alternate universe and this is just how things are, but it's gross.
Basic consensus, Howard the Duck
Way
sucks.
worse. Yeah.
And Under
Way
the Cherry
worse.
Moon is a fine movie.
Again,
Surprisingly.
cinematography, great, yeah.
So good.
So good.
If you just played the movie on mute and then just played like some Prince albums, fine.
Unironically
Fine. So let's rank this.
Okay.
For best made film, let's start with Under the Cherry Moon for both of these.
That works.
Under the Cherry Moon, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was the best one we've seen.
I agree.
Minus the sound editing.
This one for sure made me like actually appreciate the cinematography multiple times.
Yes. Yep.
Mommy Dearest, like we said, is a really okay shot film. This is a well shot film.
Yes. I think the performances were a little better than Mommy Dearest. I think the direction about on par.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. They're pretty close. For entertainment
wise.
I would probably put it just above Bolero and under Rambo. I can have a good time watching Rambo. Like, it's like, hell yeah, this is wacky.
Yeah.
I was entertained by this movie, but it's not like I can be like, this Under the Cherry Moon is a fun time.
I would put it under Bolero.
I'm okay with that as well.
Because I think Bolero, we were
laughing a lot more during Bolero.
Yeah, because Under the Cherry Moon, I don't think I think you and I were more appreciating it more than we were like laughing at it.
That's true.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I would put it...
For best made, I'd put it right between Bolero and The Lonely Lady.
I was thinking right. It's Lonely Lady quality.
And then most entertaining, this is also probably going to go pretty low.
I agree. I would still put it above Mommy Dearest.
Yep, I would put it above The Lonely Lady. There's no sexual assault in Howard the Duck.
That's true.
Thank God.
Oh my God.
I'd put it between Lonely Lady and Cherry Moon.
Yeah, that's.
I would much rather watch Cherry Moon again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There it is.
All right.
Best made, most entertaining.
At least we know that nothing will ever go below Inchon. We got security in that. Good job, Inchon. You fucking blew. What a time. Tristan, what are we watching next week? Oh yeah.
Oh no. We're watching a Bill Cosby movie.
Leonard Part 6, which I think I've looked up before. There isn't even 6 of these movies. They jump to Part 6. There's not like a Leonard and a Leonard Part 2 and a Part 4.
You're telling me this is the Mambo number 5 of movies?
This is Mambo number 5 of movies.
Okay.
I'm excited. This one I actually have heard of. So I'm
You
excited.
have heard of this one? I've never heard of this one. So yeah, join us next week for a Bill Cosby movie.